In the immediate aftermath of a car wreck, especially if someone's injured, there's a lot of things going on, right? It's a very busy time. A lot of times you're dealing with doctors. Sometimes there's hospitalizations. You've got medical bills that are coming in. You know, we all know that the medical system and the billing system is a mess. So you're getting bills for months at a time. And it's a real challenging time, right? Because we've all got jobs or children or responsibilities, and this has been thrust upon us. What we see in our business immediately after crashes is folks tend to be pretty overwhelmed, understandably overwhelmed. You've got police officers sometimes contacting you, doing their investigation. You've got insurance adjusters, these people that work for either the at fault or the person that's responsible for the crash, for their insurance. Sometimes your insurance is calling, your health insurance is calling and bugging you. It can truly be a really overwhelming time. And that's one of the things that we can really help with, is because I can kind of translate and help guide folks through the process and explain to them what's going on. We're seeing more and more folks call us really quickly after crashes, and I actually prefer that. Not because I'm out there to sign everybody up right away. That's not it at all. It's just easier for me to walk people through the process, even if they're not going to hire me, if they call me early on. Frequently 2-3 weeks, maybe a month after a crash. A lot of times, once the dust is sort of starting to settle, they will call and we can walk through what's going to happen. Typically, like I said, a lot of adjusters are calling, a lot of times from the other party, their insurance adjuster. They want to take a statement. They want to get copies of your medical records. They're sending you a bunch of paperwork to sign, and there's a lot of stuff going on in a very short amount of time. And most folks have never had to deal with anything like this before in their lives. So they're understandably confused or overwhelmed by the process. When they call our office, the way that we do things is I send you either to Nick or Lindsay or Chelsea. You have a brief conversation. We call it an intake process. So the phone call comes in. We do what we call the intake process. We take down your information, some facts about the crash. Internally, if it looks like something I might be able to help you, I go and pull the crash report. So a lot of times before I ever meet with whoever it is, I've already looked at the crash report. Sometimes I even get access to the pictures. Most of this is public information. Folks don't know that. Again, it's kind of scary, but pretty quick how information moves. If it looks like something that we might be able to help you with, I'll schedule a time to meet with you. You come into our office, you sit down with me, sometimes with one or two of my staff members, or my brother who's an attorney, or one of the other attorneys here. We'll sit down with you. We'll go over exactly what happened. I'll answer any questions you have about it. A lot of times people have a ton of questions. Who's calling me? Why are they calling me? What do I say? What don't I say? That's always a big one. A lot of people don't realize that the insurance adjuster for the other side is an adversary. In our system, we call that it's an adversarial system. We're actually at odds with each other. Their goal is to reduce the amount of money that they pay out eventually, to keep it as small as possible. That's their number one goal. And a lot of people don't realize that, because these insurance companies have figured out that if they put the nicest people on the front lines and they hammer you with contact immediately after a crash, and they will, the big names in the insurance industry will call you frequently. If you're in a crash, they will call you the first few days after the crash. They'll call you. They'll follow up every day thereafter for the first 2 or 3 weeks. How are you doing? How are you feeling? They're very friendly in a disarming sort of way. Their ultimate goal, though, is to pay that person the least amount of money, and that's one of the things that folks don't realize. And that's one of the biggest things that I can do to tell people, even if I can't help them, is to just be aware. Just be aware that that person that you're talking to might not be your friend. They'll be real friendly to you, but they might not be your friend.